We always said that there would be parallel negotiations, so...
But they've rebuffed your staff's efforts to have a meeting?
No,
right?
No, we had some staff contact, just to make contact, but you know, like I said, kind of last week or the week before, I anticipated that Labor would take the lead on the negotiations. That's what they're doing.
So you haven't asked to meet with New Zealand First this week?
No, we just made some contact to say, you know, if they wanted to, you know, we're available. But
why don't you use the power that you have, because they need you to form a government? So why don't you use that power?
They do need us to form a government, and if what you mean by using the power that we've got is also going and talking to National, I said 18 months that I wouldn't do that. I mean, it was an election promise, right?
No, I mean talking to Winston Peters.
Eh?
Talking to Winston Peters.
Look, we've made ourselves available for, you know, anybody, but like I said last week, the Labor Party would be taking the lead in negotiations, and so that's what they're doing.
So you didn't expect to be in a room with New Zealand First before a government was formed?
No, I said last week that we anticipated that Labor would take the lead in negotiations with both parties. That is actually what has always happened. So does that, every time there's been coalition negotiations.
But that includes a three-way meeting between the three of you?
Well, at some point, I assume you've got to get in a room together with the people that you're going to go into coalition with. But, you know, it is actually Labor's kind of responsibility to put the government together. That's their job. And they seem to be doing a pretty good job of it.
So was it Labor who hasn't set up that meeting?
I've had multiple meetings with the Labor Party.
Does that mean you're... simpler, though, just to have a conversation face-to-face with Winston? Wouldn't that make things a lot easier?
Well, I'm just following the process that, you know, New Zealand has been using for most of the last 20 years, which is that the largest party takes the lead in negotiations. We're not the largest party, so we're just playing our part in putting together the next government.
How do negotiations go?
That two of the parties in a potential three-way coalition government aren't even speaking at this point?
I'm just following the same process that's been used every other time this has been done.
How do negotiations go today?
That it's going to work in government if you can't even work together in negotiations?
Like I said, we're just following the same process that's led to the formation of every single other government, and so that seems to have worked the other times we've had governments, so I'm following that process.
James, does this mean that you're okay for Labor to lead on the policy front because your two policies are the same, so they agree with New Zealand First on policy and then you get a job at the end?
Well, like I said, on election night, you know, we've got areas in common, we've got areas of difference. Ultimately, when you're trying to put together a government, the most important thing is to find those areas where you've got agreement and work together for the better of the country. And so that is their responsibility, is to say, well, what is the program of government between those three parties? You've got to remember, every other government has been a multi-party arrangement of some description or another as well. And those other parties have had things in common, and they've had things that have been different.
How far have you got with Labor?
Are Labor asking you to accept any policy, New Zealand First policies you don't agree with?